Hey guys, I want to talk to you today about integrity in life. And this is one of the most important things for all of us as humans to figure out and to understand and to embody and to know, I think, before you're going to move on to the next level, not only in this world, but whatever you believe comes after this or even if you don't believe that anything comes after this, I still think there's a lot of merit to learning to live your life with integrity. It's probably the most important thing that we're here to learn how to do as human beings, at least in my opinion, for whatever that's worth. But I want to start off talking about this and give you kind of a funny way to think about this, which I'll circle back to. But I first want you to forget about integrity for just 1 second, and I want you to think back over the course of your life. And I want you to think about a time where you did something and maybe you knew at the time that it wasn't the right thing you should be doing, or it wasn't the best thing you should be doing, or it was free of integrity, let's say. And you did this thing and you didn't know it, but at the time you were being recorded, okay? And it comes out later on down the line where the situation surfaces and it's being analyzed, and maybe you're sitting there trying to deny things and somebody's like, "Oh, really? Well, it's funny because I have this on tape, and why don't we sit down and watch it right here?" So, you go into a room or something and you get to watch this replay of you doing this thing that you probably weren't proud of. You might have denied, but you knew deep down that it was wrong at the time. You knew what you were doing. And I just want you to think about those feelings that would probably overcome you. Anybody. I don't think this matters whoever you are. I think there is this rationale deep down inside most every single one of us. But just think about how you feel in that moment when somebody is showing you this video playback of this thing that you did, and you're just like sitting there feeling horrible about yourself. You're feeling bad about what you did. You knew all along it was wrong, and then here it is for the rest of the world to see, let's say, or forget about the rest of the world even. It's for you to see. And just the fact that you feel this sense of shamefulness about it, most likely, if it was a bad action, just think about the way that makes you feel. Think about just the hurt that's gonna seep in and affect you deep down. And if this is a situation where you maybe hurt another person, or you hurt a situation, or you hurt any number of things by this action, just having that ability to rewatch it and look at yourself on camera and look at what you're doing and just not be proud of yourself. Have this like deep, like, oh man, I am disappointed in me. Like, I let me down. I don't care about anybody else right now. Like, I just feel bad about this. And I don't know if you've ever had an instance like this in your life. I certainly have. I think probably most of us have had something that could be relatable here, that might make sense, or it might be a similar situation to what I just described. But I just want you to think about those emotions once again and think about the way that makes you feel. And I want to circle back and just talk about life in general and integrity. And once again, why it's so important is because I believe, and this certainly broaches a spiritual discussion. I don't know, whoever you are out there, wherever you're at with your belief system, it's totally fine. It doesn't matter. And even if you don't subscribe to what I'm about to lay out here, I just still hope you can see the point. You can make some relatable connection to it, and hopefully it will mean something to you. But if you do believe that something else comes after this life, which I am 110% sure that there is personally, that's just me. But there's often talk of like a judgment day, or a reconciliation for all your deeds that you've done on the earth here, and what that's going to look like. And what I believe this to look like is actually this. You're not actually going to sit down in front of some judgment panel of some other, let's say like a god or some other, whatever supreme being that's going to sit down and judge you. The irony is that you are going to sit down and judge you. You're going to get a life review. You're going to be, let's like in a figurative way, like sat down in a room. Your entire life is going to be shown to you that it was recorded, and shown to you that like every single thing you did, every bad deed, every good deed, everything you've ever done in your life is all there. It's all recorded. And you're going to have to look at all those things, and you're going to have to contemplate all your actions and look back at them and feel all that the rights and the wrongs that you did, and you're going to have to judge you. You're going to have to judge your own character. You're going to have to determine if you're ready to move on and you've learned your lessons that you supposedly came down to the earth to learn, and you're going to have to make that rationale upon yourself. And just think about, in your whole lifetime, this accumulation of all these bad things that might have happened to you due to a lack of integrity, or bad things that you did, let's say, due to that lack of integrity. Those things are all going to come back and haunt you. You're going to have to rewatch every single one of those moments again. You're going to have to relive it. You're going to have to view it almost on a camera screen, same sort of thing. And just think about, like we said a moment ago, when we were talking about the example of that one tiny incident when I was painting that example, and just think about the bad you felt just in imagining that one isolated incident that I was trying to get you to recollect from your life. But just imagine an entire lifetime of events like that just recorded, and you having to sit down and soak all this stuff up. And I believe that probably most every one of us are going to want to make the rationale that when you look back on your life and you have this life review after you pass on for this earth, I think you're going to want to be happy and proud and have the feeling like, yes, I was in some very hard situations, but I did the right thing as much as possible in all those situations. I acted with integrity as much as I possibly could. And I want to believe that you're going to have better things waiting for you out the back end of that whole experience if you're able to make this rationale that, like, yes, I was a good person. Yes, I exercised integrity at every moment that I could. I took the high road. I did the right thing at every moment that I possibly could in my life. You're going to want that experience as opposed to leading a lifetime free from integrity and just probably feeling terrible and horrible when you have this sort of judgment day where you sit down, you have your life review, and you go over all this stuff. It's not going to feel good. And I think that maybe there is this like reincarnation nature about our existence where, hey, if you were a bad person, you sit down, you judge yourself, you're going to come right back to the earth, for example, or a place just like it, to try again, to try to learn these lessons, to try to learn this very big one about just learning to live your life with integrity, learning to take the high road, learning to do the right thing, right? And think about that. I know it's hard. One of the things that strikes me about integrity is because, like, these are those things that we do in our lives when nobody else is watching, when nobody else might even know that you did the right thing. But deep down, you know in the pit of your stomach, in the depths of your heart, in your soul when you've acted right, when you've acted wrong, the second you do it. It's just, it is a hard thing to do. I understand that about life, but you have to put yourself up to it. You have to challenge yourself to do it. You have to hold yourself to a high standard. And I know that might not make a lot of sense right now, but I guarantee you there will come a day down the line where this will all add up, and this will mean something. This will consume you. This will have ramifications, and this will have an effect on where you go after this and what becomes of you. And it's totally up to you. You're in the driver's seat. You get to make that decision every single day about whether or not you act with integrity or not, or you don't. But it's one of the most important things that I feel like we're here to experience, to be put up to challenges, to be put up to times when your integrity is tested, to see what you're going to do. Okay? Are you going to take the right path? Are you going to take the wrong path? Are you going to take the hard path? Or are you going to take the easy path? Things like that in life. And we get faced with these things every single day, and sometimes they're big and sometimes they're small, but I really challenge you at every waking moment, try to live your life with integrity as best as you possibly can. And I know we're all human beings, and you're going to mess up, and you're going to have times of weakness, and you're going to have these times when you fall down, and you do bad things. We all do, of course, but I want to believe that as we all go through life and as we start to acquire this sort of knowledge and depth of understanding about our existence, that yes, we're all capable of doing it. Yes, you can hold yourself to a high standard. You can take the high road. You can do it. It's not always easy. It's not always fun. And like I said, it's not always going to be a type of thing where people even see you doing it, but it's very important. It means something. And I want all of you guys and girls out there to learn to be better people, to be good to each other, be good to yourself, be good to the world all around you. And this all, it all circles back to integrity. Every single situation that you're going to find yourself in, there's always a path of integrity. And I encourage you to follow that as much as you possibly can. All right, guys, I hope you're having a wonderful day. We'll talk to you all soon.